bro. Okay. Everybody wants to hear my thoughts, my opinions about U.S. versus Iran, and the reason I wasn't really just willing to do it is because one, it's been reported that we've lost some service members, so I don't want to say my actual thoughts and come off as insensitive, you know. And it just like two, I'm not really that channel, you know what I'm saying? But I do gotta give y'all what y'all want. I gotta give y'all what y'all want. When did this happen? Friday morning or Saturday morning? But I woke up to comments and DMs and be like, "Can you talk about what happened?" I'm like, "What happened?" Like I'm still. I'm like, "What happened?" And then I got to seeing, and I was like, "Oh, okay, okay." I seen something that I want to share with y'all. Okay, I'm gonna read it, and we just gonna go from there. And it says, "I am a U.S. Navy veteran. I do not support this war. I don't support it either. But if you are in person that's getting ready to enlist, you got your ship date and this or that. There's always gonna be a thought in your head that at any time shit can hit the fan, like it has this past weekend. It could get crazy at any time, or it could just be chill the whole time. You really just never know. Okay, and somebody's gonna ask me, do I still go? I'll make a separate video on that. All right, but anyway, I want my cousins, my family, my friends, and your loved ones back home safe. I agree with that. But I need to be honest about something that's catching people off guard. Iran is putting up one hell of a fight. There are simultaneously messing up multiple areas in multiple countries. Okay? Let's like I said, nobody expected this. Apparently that wasn't even authorized for Donald Trump to do. That's just what the streets are saying. It wasn't authorized. Alright? But anyway, the news anchors, not the pundits, not the people who voted for this, Iran was supposed to crumble. That was the narrative. But here we are. Okay? Why didn't they crumble? Because they never planned to fight our kind of war. No head to head, no conventional battlefield. Because, you know what I'm saying? They built a different weapon entirely and spent 40 years sharpening it. Military strategists call this an asymmetric strategy. So basically, you build capabilities specifically designed to make stronger enemies' victory as painful and expensive as possible. Think of it less like a boxing match and more like a citywide ambush. Have y'all paid attention to the gas prices since this happened? I don't know about y'all, but in Texas, I think it went up at least 40 cents. And I ain't even at the house this morning. And my car do need gas. So I'm going to see what is hitting for. Regular unleaded was like 289 yesterday. And it was like 250 before this happened. And you know, if regular is high or getting higher, Supreme, I put Supreme in the lack. So I'm like, dang. So it's already costing us. It's already costing us. All right, let's keep going. Their missile arsenal alone is no joke. Okay, Iran hid long-range missiles deep inside mountain tunnels across the country. You can't take out what you can't find. Facts. They already fired roughly more than 100 ballistic missiles at Israel and U.S. military installations across the Gulf, including Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan. When I seen Ali Asalim got hit, I said, oh, that it hit home for me because it was like, dog, I spent a lot of time in Ali Asalim, Kuwait, because that's where you go as a Raven for your deployments, your 4-month stage rotations. You go to Kuwait and you go to IUD Qatar. I don't know if that's the same now, but that I like to think it is. And I remember my mindset and the thoughts I was having on my last Raven deployment in Kuwait. I was like, bro, what if I don't make it home? And so I could just imagine how I would feel now if I was there and this happened. It's just like, dang, fool. It's like, but at the same time, you pray for the worst, but you always are prepared for the best. That's why the training is so, you know what I'm saying? You got to be on point. And so I was ready for whatever. What I would have been scared? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. You're human. I don't care how TTG or, you know what I'm saying, how much of a YN you is. That's different. That is different. Okay, let's keep going. And missiles are just one layer. You got drones, proxies, and cyber operations. According to defense analysts, Iran can sustain missile, drone, proxies, and cyber operations for years because these systems are cheap, dispersed, and can be produced even under heavy sanctions. They built a war of attrition on purpose. Okay, now let's talk about the decapitation strategy. All right, the idea: take out the leadership. The population rises, the regime collapses. I don't know who the main dude is. I see the name, but I don't know how to say it. He was killed, right? Can I say that? Oh yeah, it does. Senior IRGC officials were unalived. Sound decisive, right? Here's what a century of military history actually shows us. Okay, bombing campaigns don't cause revolutions; they cause solidarity. Even when people hate their government, and many Iranians do, when bombs start falling on their country, they close ranks against the external aggressor. It happened in Iraq. Libya almost worked, but only because they were organized. They were organized rebel forces on the ground. In Iran right now, there is no comparable ground force to exploit the chaos. Let's keep going. So what's Iran actually trying to accomplish, you may ask? They know they can't beat the US military head to head because let's not get it confused, okay? But their goal is cost in Pap, slow down, bro. All right. Their goal is cost imposition. Make this so painful, so expensive, so regionally destabilizing that American political will break their military. Wait, typo. Or it was a misuse of a comma. So regionally destabilizing that American political will break before their military does. That's not weakness, that's strategy. And it's working well enough to matter. Alright? The experts are already saying the quiet part out loud. The odds of achieving all stated objectives, regime change, nuclear program eliminated, and new Iranian government are all remote when taken together. The risk of lengthy, indecisive conflict is high. Sound familiar? It should. Here's what your IR class got wrong or skipped. It taught you balance, deterrence theory, conventional force comparisons. What it underemphasized is the cost imposition strategy of a smaller power that knows it cannot match you plane for plane. Iran studied our last 20 years of war. They took notes. So when people ask why is Iran still fighting, it's because they prepared exactly for this moment for decades. They're battered, they have taken real damage, but they are doing precisely what they designed themselves to do. I say all this not to glorify Iran's regime. I say this because informed citizens make better demands of their government. And right now, the American people deserve to understand what we got into and what it actually costs to get out. Bring them home. Bring those troops home. Because we're losing. Not because we're losing, because this war was never supposed to be ours to fight. So if you're wondering what's happening, I just told you. And shout out to Maja Porter. He broke that down. He's a Navy veteran. You know what I'm saying? Countries know when we stand together, like as a US, they can't top us, bro. So they gotta attack in ways that can mess with us for real, for real. So yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. And then like another reason I didn't want to speak on it is because like contrary to which I believe and which I believe I do with my military content, I am not tapped into what's actively going on in the military. I am done. See some uniforms? Them uniforms are hung up. They hung up. Now, if you want to hang your uniforms up, I'll leave a link to the frames down in the comments. But I'm done. I'm trying to go to school. So yeah, U.S. versus Iran. That's how I feel about it. And shout out to the guy that wrote this perfect breakdown of what's happening. Okay, but we need to get our troops home, bro. We need to get our troops home. So yeah, you ask and you shall receive. All right. I hope this made sense to y'all, and if it didn't, I apologize. I apologize. All right. But yeah, let me go ahead and wrap this video up and get ready for the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, and hype the video if you're new. Hype it. All right. I'm trying to hit that 1 million this year, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Dog.